This video will guide you how to add a user to your engineering design project management cloud. A super user or a system administrator performs this function using the System Administrator app, which is a standard app. Adding a user involves two steps. The first step is to create a user using the System Administrator app, and in the second app, using the CRM app, the user is defined as a resource so that later the user can be added to a project as a resource. So let's do the first step, that is creating the user in the admin console. From apps gallery, we will choose the system administrative app, choose the users menu. Now before creating a user, always ensure that the user is not already existing. Sometimes the user may already be created but not active. This is the column that shows a check mark against the active users. So you can understand from here if the user is active or not. Users in the system such as the project manager, lead engineers, CAD designers, engineers, site managers, system administrators, etc. So let's create the user by clicking the plus icon. User form, add the first name. The last name is customized in your system for entering the employee ID. Make sure to enter a unique employee ID, which is the SAP ID, in the last name field. The same employee ID will also be used in the second step of this video while defining the user as a resource in the CRM app. Enter an email ID. Enter a login ID. Login ID must be unique. It must be unique across your system, so we recommend using email ID of the employee. However, no such requirement is there for the email field. The email sent from the EDMS system will be sent to this email ID. Also, there is no compulsion of keeping the login ID and email ID same. Both can be different also. Enter phone, mobile, fax, as they will be used in the transmittal that you send to the customer. Choose a profile, which is a very important field. Avoid the system administrator profile unless you are creating a system administrator for your system. Choose the profile according to the type of the user that you are creating. For example, for a project manager, choose project manager. For lead engineer, choose lead engineer profile. Similarly, we have a lead profile and a site manager / engineer / draftsman profile. If you want a different profile and cannot find it here, you can contact your system administrator or the implementation partner who implemented the solution on the A2Zapps cloud. Role is not needed. Do not check the app developer checkbox. Check the native access checkbox. Select language, local, time zone, email encoding to Unicode. You can add an address and choose the country. You can mark the generate an email password to the user checkbox to send the password immediately, or you can leave it blank for now. The password can be generated later also. So let us save this. So here we have the user created in the system. Now let me show you how you can generate and send the password. Go to the users. Against the user that you just created, click the reset password. So the password has been generated and sent to the email ID mentioned at the time of creation of the user. Now let's move to the second step to complete the user creation process. From the apps gallery, go to the CRM app and click resources. Here we will be creating this user as a resource so that the user is available to be added as a resource to a project. Details of the user, add the unique employee ID which you had entered in the first step in the customized last name field in the system admin app. Phone, fax, email and resource department are important fields as they are used in the transmittal, so make sure you enter this information, and let's go ahead and save it. So here we have the resource record created. Always before creating a resource here, make sure that you are not creating a duplicate resource record. So now let me go to the project management app where I will show you this resource available to be added to a particular project. Let me choose a project. And I'll go to the team members. So let me show you the resource. So here's our resource showing up here, which is available to be added to this project.